Hi, welcome to Leap Taken. This is Mika. Here at Leap Taken, I talk about all things witchy, craft-related, law of attraction, manifesting, esoteric, and everything else in between. And today, I'd like to talk a little off-the-cuff topic of just some things I've been noticing about the witchy community, specifically, I guess, the witchy community as it relates to YouTube. So, stay with me. Plus, but before I get into that, I did want to just give some tips on some candle magic, a little bit different. So, I picked these up when I was at Hobby Lobby recently. This is roasted pumpkin. Yeah, they were marked down with like 50% off. The brand is, what is this brand called? It's Hobby Lobby. It just says, yeah, Farm Fresh. It's Hobby Lobby brand, handcrafted, roasted pumpkin. So this is the cover, and it smells glorious. So that's that. And then this one is Grandpa's Chair. These are scented candles, hand poured. I guess they're supposed to be, really fancy. I don't know. It doesn't say it, so why am I showing you this like you can smell? But anyway, here's the label, Grandpa's Chair. So it's like that tobacco, cigar, leather, very kind of masculine scent. So that's where I'm going with this. So specifically this one, the Grandpa's Chair one. Why would you even think to use this? Besides, it just smells really good. Why would you want to maybe use this in your magical practice? Here's why. If you are looking for a masculine element, you're looking for something to take your senses. By the way, your sense of smell is related to your brain. That's why you can smell things like lavender or other calming scents, and it actually calms you down. It can actually help you with your thought processes and kind of center yourself. So aromatherapy is real. It's a thing. It's not just a new age concept. More about new age stuff. But anyway, yeah, if you want to kind of trigger your senses to something masculine energy, I would suggest using one of these types of scented candles. Now, it's not that you're doing any necessarily spell work with this candle as far as you can, but it's a stand-in. It's another tool that you're using during maybe some sort of magical working. So in this case, some you want masculine energy. Maybe you're trying to evoke masculine energy or sort of balance or something like that. It doesn't have to stand in for a specific person unless, of course, that triggers something for you. But ultimately, just that masculine energy. I thought it would be great if you can use one of these scented candles. And it doesn't have to be like you're working on a specific spell. You might want to just include a balance of masculine energy into your home. So you would burn this type of candle. I know some people use, forgive the beeps. I know some people use, men's cologne, things like that. It's just a balance of energy. So there's that. And then of course the roasted pumpkin. If you want to do your ode to fall, now's the time. Most people are going to be burning, pumpkin scented things anyway. But definitely, if you're doing some sort of ritual work or things like that, and you want to, if you do seasonal type of magic, or workings, magic, whatever, you can burn this. Of course, you can get, I guess more organic scents going. But, if you have access to this type of stuff, right, and you would like to witch it up a little bit and add a witchy element, you can still incorporate scented candles. I know a lot of times you see the other types of candle, chime candles, the big 7-day candles and stuff like that, and that's fine. But you can bring this in. You play on the aromatherapy aspect of it. It's just a witchy tip. Plus, they smell really good. But if it does something to your mind, you can take that spark, that energy, and you can transmute it into something else. So that is magical. All right, so that's that. So I'll be burning these very shortly. I love this one. This smells so good. This is nice, but this smells so good. Okay, so the other thing is I've been noticing a trend lately on, I think, and most people title it like from New Age to Jesus. And I'm not going to go too far into a rant about this. Here at Leap Taken, me personally, I don't identify with any of the big three. You know, I'm strictly witchly. I definitely go more toward the pagan path, but I don't follow any of those things. So I had at one point in my life, and I had been brought up that way, so I understand, I'm familiar, and all that sort of stuff. But what I would just say is this: things you don't have to worry about happening at this channel. My path can take all, crooked manner, and, it might even stall. It might even revert a little bit, go backwards. However, what I don't foresee in any capacity, and it's been decades now, is that my path going completely to a total, just abandoning the path altogether for one of the big three religions. I don't foresee that at all. I understand, your path, my path, they're all individual, and it's obviously personal. So I don't want to disrespect anyone or sound condescending or like I'm harassing or I'm angry with someone because they're doing something different than the way I see it. Because it's not true. What I will say is this: I think if you are someone who has gained a following and you make a drastic detour off of the pagan, we're just going to say pagan path, or pagan, we'll just keep it light, pagan path, anything that falls under that, yeah, it's going to be tough on those followers, especially if you gained a significant following that involved the exchange of energy, money is energy. If you've actually exchanged that for services, spiritual type of services, things like that, it could really be painful and hurtful to those followers that you've made such a drastic turn. And to expect those followers to still continue to follow you, as time goes on, because at first people, I think, are probably going to be shocked. They might not immediately just disengage from you. But I think that's expecting a lot. In my case, I would just suggest abandoning that channel, maybe keeping it there if it doesn't offend you in your new belief, to keep it there and just start a whole new channel. But I know why that's not done. I know why people don't do that, because they'd be starting from zero and they want the followers and all that the benefits that come with having all the subscribers and things like that. So I totally understand why it's not being done. But in my opinion, I think if you're going to be authentic, if you're really being authentic, then you would leave that space, because that space represented a certain type of energy, and you would move over here because that's the new stuff that you're on now, and then gain new followers, because these are two completely different things. I wasn't feeling well last week, so I binged a couple of different videos. YouTubers, it's not that I didn't know about them, it's just that I didn't really follow them as much. I wasn't paying attention to them for months, maybe even a year. But I don't know, you click on one thing and it recommends another thing, and I was down a rabbit hole of people I remember from some time ago, but they had some new content out, so I was paying more attention to that content. And what I will say is that those people were having conversations specifically talking about the New Age to Jesus things. And what I got from them that I found a little disturbing, if I'm honest with you, is while they kind of have the same attitude and same perspective and opinion that I have, they would use the same, they would refer to the Bible in a way to explain their side, I guess. I don't know. I'm trying to keep this nice. But it puzzled me, because why are you using... I don't know. See, I'm somebody who, again, my spiritual practice has nothing to do with any of that sort of stuff. It's very different from me. I'm somebody, if you tell me, oh, well, I'm a Christian witch, I mean, you are whatever you say you are, I don't care. But if you start asking me more detailed questions and you want to know more about spirituality and you want to have a exchange of information, it's going to become very apparent where if you start bringing that part into it, the Christian part into the witchcraft part, we're not going to probably be able to keep going too much further because I mean, I can listen, but if you're asking for input after giving me that information, yeah, no, ma'am, I don't, or sir. It's very conflicting for me, and I mean that's my opinion. Again, live and let live. You do you. I don't care that that's your thing. Like I don't care what anybody's really doing. That's fine. But like I said, if you came to me or if you were asking me things or you were wanting an opinion or wanting more details about a specific subject, yeah, that's where I think it would be a bit of a conflict, would be a bit of an issue. So I say that all to say that these YouTubers were kind of using, like I said, they would quote certain verses from the Bible and things like that as part of their overall argument. And I just sat there thinking to myself, what is the point of this? Like, what are you doing? What is that doesn't advance your argument. That doesn't add more details to your argument. It doesn't make your argument any more valid. And I'm going somewhere with this. The reason I bring that up is because I notice, not even just in YouTube, but in other groups and things like that, or honestly, even just in conversations with people, I notice that people have this thing where they feel like they need to validate their argument. Because if you're having a debate and the argument is not a bad thing, it's just maybe, two different point of views being discussed. I noticed that these people think that it makes the argument more valid, where if you were talking to me and part of your argument was to quote something from a Quran or Bible or anything like that, a religious text, I'm a decent human being, so I'm going to respect you talking and your opinion and so forth. But you're not going to convince me, or it's not going to validate your argument in my eyes, because I don't recognize that. And I think specifically these things, it's kind of like, I guess if I start reading out of my grimoire, if I started reading out of my grimoire and I started explaining how this makes it true because it's in my grimoire, yeah, to me it's the same thing. I'm human man, whatever, wrote these things down. So I don't know. That's what I said. Again, never being disrespectful, but at the same time, if we're talking about just the debate, the argument, it doesn't fortify your point anymore in my eyes. So when I'm hearing these YouTubers, all I'm thinking to myself is, who are you trying to fortify the point to? The person who made the video from Jesus to New Age to Jesus, or to your followers who clearly are not doing that? How does it add validity to your argument, taking excerpts from these holy books? Like, what is that doing? And unless, of course, that's part of your path. But if overall you don't really reference that normally, I don't know. Here at Lead Taken, you won't find me trying to appeal to an audience that doesn't follow this path. I'm talking as if we're all in this together. My goal is not to find themes and ideas and concepts that are familiar to, let's say, Christians, and speak on that to kind of lure them in. And I have come across people who I see doing that, and all I'm thinking is, what's your agenda? Is your agenda to gain more people who are still tied to that? So you're trying to speak their talk to kind of get them in? That's what it seems like. I mean, it's a bit manipulative. I don't like that. I don't know. I don't like being manipulated. Full Sun Aries here. I'm not a fan of people trying to manipulate or trying to somehow circumvent what I'm about or what they claim they're about, to get me in, to get me on their team, so to speak. It's not worth it. So you won't ever see that on this channel. That's not going to be happening. That won't happen. If I am having a conversation and I, for some reason, needed to reference someone's holy book, it would definitely be within a certain context, but it wouldn't be to validate anything. It would, unless I don't know, criticizing it, but I'm not doing that because I find that disrespectful. But yeah, those worlds, I don't get it. I don't get why they need to collide. But I understand for some people it's important that it does. It makes sense to them, and that's fine. Again, I'm not coming at anybody for doing that. I think, but when making an argument, it's just ridiculous to me if that's your approach. Now, on the concept itself, I understand there's a little bit of conspiracy behind it. Watching other people's videos, I mean, I didn't do too much research on this because it's not really that important, but I thought it was interesting enough to talk about, is that they're all using that particular bit of that part in their video titles, from New Age. If I hit this thing one more time, from New Age to Jesus. So that's a theme, that's a thing that people are doing. And I was like, so everybody's kind of on the same thing. It does make you wonder if you do a YouTube search on that and you put it in order of recent, and you're like, is there an overall thing going on with that? Is there some, far-reaching plan that maybe we don't know about? You gain the conspiracy is these people basically are gaining. They're Christians. They're gaining a certain amount of followers, talking about the new age stuff, witchy stuff, and basically they flip the script once they have a certain amount of followers or subscribers, and then they hit you with the Jesus stuff. So with the purpose is to convert, I guess, the people who follow them. I don't know. That's a tough one. That's hard for me to believe. I don't know. Again, since I'm a believer in people actually authentically having individual personal experiences when it comes to their spiritual path, it's hard for me to wrap my mind around that. But what I do believe, though, is that if you are someone who's made that change, to start calling things evil or demonic is, again, disingenuous. You've seen the light. Okay, well, let me live in darkness because, I was created in darkness, so we all were. So darkness is not bad. Let me wallow in the darkness. Let me stay over there. You keep your light over there. This is why, again, people like that, I couldn't follow you. There is someone who is a YouTuber that I had followed for some years, and I really like them, and they spoke witchy content and things like that. I'd followed them for years. I think they had a serious influence on me. Their videos I would walk away thinking like, wow, that's a different way of looking at it. And I had been practicing witchcraft, so it's not like I was coming into it new, but that's how much of an impact that their videos would have. Whenever I watch, I couldn't get enough. I would binge them, I'd watch them, and it was just kind of a new lens of looking at things and how I would do certain workings and all of it. So I was really enthralled with this particular YouTuber for a period of time. It was a good amount of time. But channels evolve. Well, they should. People should evolve as time goes on, and you should see some differences. That's normal. But sometimes you don't agree with the differences. You don't like the path that they're going. Again, I think this YouTuber did that I would follow. Their channel took a turn to me where it's more, and they have a lot more followers than what they started out with, a lot more subscribers, and I totally get it. I'm into this. I'm building. I'm low level with it, but I understand the benefits that come with that. So I know why things are being done. However, it's still when you see somebody in the beginning and they seem to at least be very authentic, and now it's like their content seems to like I said, it just took a turn. this particular YouTuber doesn't even really go with the whole witch thing anymore so much. They don't say that. I think they don't refer to themselves that way. So, that's cool, whatever. I was still all in even after that, but a lot of it now is just, to me, useless information. It's kind of made up to fit the audience. They're making videos for the audience. Not that I don't make videos for the audience, but meaning it's not real. It doesn't feel real. I don't know. So, you know what I did? I unfollowed them. I mean, and it takes a lot for me to unfollow someone's channel. One, I'd have to really be caring a lot because it's not that big of a deal. There are people who offend me often on different social media platforms. It takes a lot for me to totally, I'll mute them first so I don't see their posts. I'll do all of that before I follow. I don't know, weird. I feel so final. I don't want to do that. But, maybe you're going through something, Who am I to judge? I don't want to do that. And if I guess I feel like it's me. If my channel took a turn or if I was going through something and maybe it didn't resonate with you, it's like, you don't have to unfollow me. It's cool. Give me a minute to get back on our path. I'm only human. And that's how I see other people. So I don't, go so far into it. However, for me to unfollow, it means it's been a period of time where it's just like, okay, I don't know what you got going on anymore, but I'm not getting anything out of it. And clearly this person has a lot more subscribers. So little me is not going to, break anything. But I don't even want it in my feed because I'm getting disturbed now by some of the content because I know better. And a lot of it just seems like unreal lies. But anyway, made up stuff. But back to the subject at hand. Yeah, everybody has their own path. We know this. But when you're someone with a bit of a following and you're new age to Jesus, start a new channel. Start a new channel. Don't try to be selfish and hold people hostage with your new path. That you made that change, but they were about something else. Because all you do is bring hurt to people. It's it's not big hurt, but I mean for some it might be, but for some it's that it's annoying because it's like, and those little micro annoyances build up into real hurt. Like I said, telling people tarot is evil or they were wrong before and they led people the wrong path, but now they're gonna lead you the right way to the light, and all that other stuff. I think there's one person that comes into mind. She's not so much a YouTuber, but she's big in the Oracle cards world. Doreen Virtue, I think that's what, right? Doreen Virtue. I know she took a few years ago, she made a change, and now she's no longer under the pagan umbrella anymore, from my understanding. See, me, being the way I am, I won't purchase. I don't actually have any of her products, but I won't be purchasing it, knowing that because. Yeah, you made that when you were in tune with that energy, but guess what? I know you're not, which now makes me question everything that you did before. How in tune were you really? How aligned were you really with these ideas? So that energy that you were on, it's put into your art, it's put into your product. And I don't want that. So yeah, for me, it would be an issue. I wouldn't purchase it. But, I'm not really, I think she did like the angel cards and all that. And again, I don't really like dealing with that type. That does not appeal to me because to talk about angels, to me, it kind of burrows more into the other stuff. So, yeah, that doesn't appeal to me. So I wouldn't purchase it anyway. But anyway, the point is, yeah, I wouldn't be buying any Doreen Virtue stuff. I wouldn't be buying any of her old stuff, even though, she's, was supposedly all in back then. But if you are somebody who, and I'm not going to name any of these YouTubers or any of that sort of stuff, be specific, because what's the point? But if you are have an idea of what I'm talking about, and if you don't, you can just do a search in YouTube and you'll get on board very quickly. But if you're somebody like me who, maybe from afar you follow these people, or maybe you were a little bit more intimately following them, What I would say is this: if it's bothering you, and you know it probably shouldn't because that's them, it's not you, but you kind of invested energy and time in listening to them and following their videos, and maybe you even, because I know people donate money and stuff like that during lives, and you're feeling a little rejected and let down by their change, those feelings are valid. I wouldn't minimize it because I don't like when people do that and say, well, what does it matter? That's her. Why? You do you. Don't worry about her. But she brought you in. There was an exchange of energy going on. So you're valid in feeling that way. If you feel disappointed, that's very valid. And yeah, it's okay. Let those feelings out. Express them, in a healthy way as best as possible for you. And then release them because it's a real thing. We get disappointed. The example I gave the YouTuber I followed, yeah, I felt like they had a definite influence on the workings that I was doing. So it was a letdown and disappointment that there was an obvious shift in their content, and it wasn't to me in a positive way. So it's not even just different. I can get behind different, but it felt disingenuous. It felt fake. So, I couldn't, I follow the person for the content, the person could be, maybe they're attractive or they have something going on that catches your eye, but the overall content kept me going back and subscribing and putting alerts on. So, yeah, the person, yeah, that's great, but it's, what are you talking about? I want to hear, pull me in. But anyway, yeah, so I gave you a task today if you'd like to take it up. Look more into that and kind of go down the YouTube rabbit hole as I occasionally do. My latest, totally off topic rabbit hole, YouTube rabbit hole I've gone deep into is I watched one video and it was a trans thing. It's a trans man, and I don't even know why I don't. If you listen, you're on YouTube, so you're watching me. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. It's like one thing just leads to another. It's something in the video caught my attention. I was like, oh, well, that's interesting. And you watch that. So it's like, oh, and it wasn't that long. It was only like 10, 12 minutes. So then I'm looking over the suggestion. I was like, well, what's that about? Next thing I know, I'm looking at top surgery. My daughter makes fun of me all the time because this is something that happens periodically with me where I will just be down a road on topics, but I learn things. I learn things. One time I went down, it was like an alt-right thing. Oh my God. And I know I should have stopped. But I continued on this path. I continued to watch these videos, and it was just so interesting to understand how people think. And then I read the comments. Oh, I go all in. I was reading the comments, and I'm like, really? It's so disappointing, but I couldn't stop. But anyway, that's all I have to say about everything I just talked about. Thank you for watching. A little ranty today, a little, off the cuff, a little all over the place, but hopefully, you got what I was talking about. Thanks for watching. This is Mika Leap Taken. Please like the video and subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. I appreciate that. And if you've already subscribed, thank you so much. Again, I really appreciate that. All right, thanks.